that music in the background is a vibe, right, chat? Hey everyone, welcome to another SCS Software stream. Here we are in our amazing new studio, in our new amazing home, our new amazing office in Prague. And today we got a kind of a full house again. Here with me, here's Mark behind the wheel, all stressed out to
Hello.
set everything before the stream. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing all right. How about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. And our middleman today, in the middle, is our colleague from the vehicle department, Andy. Andy, thank you for coming. How are you today?
Thank you for having me. I'm great. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Perfect.
First time
I
in
can
this
see
thing.
you are not really nervous in front of the camera.
No, I'm kind of used to this, so.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So you have a history of being a rock star or something?
Zoom in. Yeah, I wish.
Okay. Okay. Now those are just jokes.
Yes.
So Benny, you can switch the camera back. That's. Oh, you actually zoomed the camera. Okay.
You did.
And thank you guys for being here with me today. Hi everyone. My name, for those who don't know me, my name is Nemiro, and I'm PR marketing manager in SCS Software. And we today thought it might be a cool thing, not just to drive in American Truck Simulator like we usually do these Let's Play streams, but we invited here our colleague Andy to talk more about one of the, let's say, bigger chunks of the 1.50 update that recently got out, and which is the update of the International LT and LoneStar trucks on which Andy was working, right?
Yes. That's
All right, perfect. Mark,
Mm-hmm.
where are you? What are we going to do? We should somehow, in our profile that we are building from scratch in this ATS Let's Play series, we should somehow get our hands over an International LT or LoneStar. How are we going to do that?
So I was thinking, we have 5 trucks in the in our shop, in our garage,
Okay.
and I'm thinking that we can trade one of them in for an International LT. Spice up
Oh,
our fleet a
so
little
we have to say goodbye to one of our beauties.
Mm-hmm.
Chat, we're gonna need your help. Help us decide which of these amazing trucks has to go.
So of course we have the 9900i, which you started this career with. This is your doing, right?
Me?
The truck with the flames?
Oh yes, I didn't put the flames on it.
No.
But
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
yeah.
Then we have the Kenworth W900. This was mine. So that's not going anywhere, chat.
Yeah.
Don't even think about it. And at some point, we bought a second 5700 XE to complement the first one we bought. And
Do we actually need 2 of them?
no, we don't. So I guess we should trade in this plain white wrapper. What do
I
you
would
think?
I would trade the other one, the more ugly one.
This one?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I
How-
agree with Namiro on this one.
Okay, well, you're both wrong because it's the one we're going to trade in.
You're the driver, so.
So
How mu-
Amy is going to go into our previous 5700. She'll take that over for us, and we're going to take this one and go buy ourselves an International LT.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey, Namir, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you jealous of Andy's luscious flow? His hair?
Come on, man.
That's
That was
a
a
low,
that,
man.
that was a little.
I'm just over here, like, I can't help but admire this, what you got going on there, Andy.
I'm sad. I think I'm
What do you
gonna
think
cry.
it is?
I'm gonna cry in the shower tonight. Yeah. Andy, if you would ever think that you don't need all the hair you have,
I'll keep it
I
in
might
mind, yeah.
I might use half of it.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So, Andy, you were the one working on the kind of extensive and big update for the International LT and LoneStar that came out with 1.50. Can you tell us what all is new on these trucks?
There's quite a lot of new options for the exterior. So there's quite
Mhm.
a lot new of accessories. We got new bumpers. We got a new grill.
Mm-hmm.
We got new side skirt closeouts. There's new fenders. There's a deflector type of spoiler looking thing on the back. I'm really sorry, I'm not familiar with the
Maybe
talking about
maybe
this?
Mark can
No,
try to
on
walk
the-
around these.
yeah, so maybe we can start from the front and move to
Mhm.
the back.
Yeah,
of it.
for sure.
So you can showcase the new grill. We got besides the old ones being revamped, I kind of added a
Oh,
bit more depth
so
to
let
them.
me-
so
let me
now
get
you
it
can see
straight.
The radiator.
It's not
inside.
just rework of the parts that were already there, but
it was
also
a facelift of the old part. So what actually happened is when I got the task, initially it was supposed to be like a 3-month job, just
Mhm.
doing a bunch of new parts for
Mhm.
the S13 update. And because we got the CAD data for it, but the old truck, the existing truck itself was not actually built with CAD data because it was not
so they
available
were like
at the
slightly
time.
disproportions.
Yeah, nothing fit correctly, so we had to
Oh.
rework a lot of parts. So actually the hood as well was reworked. The bumper, the sides I had to remodel to fit. So it wasn't just making new parts for it, it was also adjusting the old parts to be
So I
more
believe
accurate
that-
and realistic and a bit more up to standard.
I see.
So it turned from a 3-month project to a
Yeah,
full
no,
year.
that's what I wanted to ask. Like
Yeah, yeah.
something that might seem as a work for 3 months
Yeah,
turned out into
Yes,
quite a
it's
bigger
that thing.
task, right?
exactly.
And did you guys also brought up a new parts as well, right? A few of them, or just reworked the current ones, or
What do you mean by new parts?
because I believe that maybe I just don't know all the parts that we have for all the trucks in the game. But when Mark was like selecting the front mask, the front grille,
Yeah, there's
the
an
few of
entirely new
them,
part.
yeah,
Yeah, there used to be only one. I think
yeah,
there's-
that's what I mean.
And
Yeah.
now- yeah, I think two. Sorry, the standard and chrome, and
Yeah.
then we added the S13 and the
Ah.
S13 plastic.
Okay.
But the existing grills were also reworked because previously they were kind of flat. They had no depth, so
yeah, that's
there's
what
now
I.
this transparent
that's
texture
what I
on
mean,
the
yeah.
radiator in the back. So this is an entirely new bumper that we got the cats for, and we decided we really want to put it because it kind of breaks up the look of the truck.
Well, it allows you
I
to
really
kind of
like it.
change the whole style of the truck,
Exactly,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Because you can go for more of a kind of almost like vocational look if you choose like the steel bumper, right?
What does it mean,
Um,
vocational?
Like more of like a kind of heavy duty, I guess, application. Typically, you won't see those kinds of trucks with skirts and stuff like that because it's just more things to get damaged when they're
So
know,
they usually put like the.
just bare tanks and steps
Yeah.
and a kind of more high profile bumper like this. You can see right, just looking right. You can see it's a
there's more
lot higher, a
space.
lot more ground clearance, right?
Mhm.
Shout out to Smarty, one of our beta testers. I think he was
Yeah.
one of the ones pushing really hard for this one, this chrome bumper.
No, this was already made before it even got to the community testers.
Okay, never mind.
Really?
So
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we already
But
had
still,
the data
still,
for it. This
still,
was-
shout out to Smarty.
Yeah,
Uh,
honestly.
Yeah,
If
he
he
did
would be
provide a lot
around,
of,
he would definitely push for that.
no, and he did provide a lot of reference photos and
Yeah.
stuff like that for us as well.
We-
'Cause he's got a
we-
few of these in the fleet he's working for right now.
Yeah, he always tries to provide us with as much feedback as possible. Do you guys actually like work very tight with a few members of our community, like beta testers and stuff like that?
Typically, our process is we'll get some pre-production either from our research department or from just various collections we've
Mhm.
had before sitting in some repository. And then an artist gets assigned the task. There's mostly communication within our department. And then once we are near the end of the project cycle, we send it to QA.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the community testers, and there's an extensive period where we fix everything and maybe add some missing parts to it
Mm-hmm.
based on the feedback we get. So it's usually like that.
Okay.
It's not like me as the artist goes directly to other. Sometimes we do, but it really depends. But it's mostly like a sequential
Okay,
process,
yeah.
I would say.
Gotcha. And how? I always wondered, like, how does it actually work within your department, within the vehicle department? Like, who's going to get what task? Like, you guys are like volunteering for tasks because, like, you maybe have some relationship with the truck that is being worked on or whatever. You want to work on that, or is someone distributing the task, like, based on maybe that they know that, you know, this guy is good for this and this guy is good for that, and how does it work?
So it depends from person to person, but it's mostly our lead will delegate the tasks to people he deems are most appropriate for it. Sometimes I'll just go up to my lead and ask him very nicely to get a task, and he will.
So like
do it.
everyone in your team knows about all the tasks that are available or being worked on, and you might be able to see like, okay, in a few months we are going to work on this and I would love to be the one who doing that, so you can go to your lead and ask for the task? Or
Sometimes yes, but not always. Usually you get a task delegated to you by the lead,
mm-hmm.
but in rare cases If you really are passionate about something, you can ask for a specific task, and 99% of the time you will get it.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. You have the
Ability
option
to
of
do-
choice,
exactly.
or
But it depends from person to person, because everybody in our department likes to specialize on different things. There's people that like to work on trucks. There's people who like to work on trailers. There's
maybe like
people.
interior guys, exterior
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. But sometimes we shuffle around, and it really depends. We're not like so focused in one lane. I would say we're very adaptable.
That's good. Do you have like some specialized roles? Because I think you guys have like, for example, specialized people for paint jobs, for example.
Yes, we do.
and-
We do, because
right.
it's an entirely different skill set. So usually the paint job guys, they do very detailed 2D drawings for the paint jobs. It's not something that we as 3D artists have as a skill set. Like, we can make textures, but making highly detailed graphics that you could apply on a paint job, that's for specialized people.
it's-
that's
It's still kind of a like complex and very hard job, right? I didn't know
Yes,
until I don't want to say recent points, but at the beginning when I was joining SCS, I didn't know that to create a paint job is as well complex, like hell of a complex task, because it's not just a texture that would automatically be applicable on all trucks, right? Every
No.
truck has a slightly different cabin, so you need to
Yes.
like make sure that everything's like aligning. Imagine like a paint job of straight lines over all the truck, and you need to set up the hood, the
UVs
deflector,
have to line,
everything, so
exactly.
the line is still connected.
Yeah, it seems trivial, but technically it's very complicated, because, as you mentioned, you have at least 3 cabin options per truck, and you have how many trucks, and all of the different accessories that you can swap out, they still have to match. So it's quite a pain, actually, and we are kind of looking into some technical ways of
Of,
alleviating
like
this
reducing
process
the
in the
amount
future.
of work. Yeah.
Yeah, but we can
Okay.
talk about those things later, I think.
Okay. Perfect.
I have a real quick question for the chat. So we have available to us either the day cab or the mid-roof sleeper, which we call the high-rise sleeper, as opposed to the sky-rise sleeper, I see. So, yeah, which one, chat? Which one are we going to build today? 2 for mid, 1 for day. 2 for day.
Chat, just to know how dumb am I set up here for Andy on a laptop a chat so he can watch you guys chatting, but it was
Looking at some others.
it was a chat from other streamer.
Happens.
All right, what do you think, Andy? Mid-roof or day cab?
I like the skyrise cabin because
We are not leveled up enough to
all
get
right,
it.
then we can do the mid roof, because we can showcase the interior for
Ah,
it later.
all right.
Because there's quite a lot of new things.
Because
there.
chat seems pretty divided, so I think
would
we're
go
going to go.
for the
You get to be
high-rise.
the tiebreaker.
Yeah, because there's
Fix
a lot
it.
more to show for the interior. It would be cool if we could show the skyrise in the browser
Browser,
later, though,
yeah.
because there's a new feature for
Yeah,
the
absolutely. Yeah, we can do
cabinets.
that.
So you've mentioned it, but maybe
There we
people
go.
people didn't hear that. So the update was not really it was not only related to the exterior of the trucks, right? You guys basically retouched or reworked the interior as well.
The interior was entirely reworked, and it was actually a bonus because it was not in the pipeline at all. But while I was working on the exterior, I was looking at the truck in the Explorer here in the interior, and it really was not up to standard.
It
To
was
what
not
we were
matching the-
releasing at the time. So we came to the conclusion that while we're reworking this truck, we might as well give it the love that it deserves. So we've completely reworked. Parts of the models are entirely new. The textures and materials are basically remade from scratch for most of the interior. We also have new trim options to accompany the S13 update.
Nice.
So yeah, and we added one extra trim option as well. Previously there were only 3, now we have 4. So it's
Which one is the new one?
I
this
believe
one?
Diamond Elite
Diamond
is
Elite,
the
yeah.
new one.
Oh.
And we
And
reworked,
it's my favorite.
or I should say, you reworked the old ones because originally everything had this kind of
Yeah, pink, purple tint.
yeah, which is actually a pretty rare option to find on a truck. Most trucks are spec'd out with the gray or black interior, so those were reworked. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything on the interior was practically.
That's actually
redone.
quite cool to hear. Like that you guys are not only like, focused on tasks, but when you actually feel like, hey, come on, I spend this amount of time on exterior and now the interior doesn't really match the quality. Let's go the extra mile.
Exactly. And it's only fair, cool. Especially in comparison to what we are working on at the time. It just did not match the standard that we work on now.
That's great. It was great to hear. Great to hear. And was it only you working on this update, or was
mostly
others?
Yes, it was mostly me doing all of the new accessories parts, reworking the old parts, reworking the interior. I did have some help from Sissel. Bless him. Without him, I don't know what we would do. And of course, paint job guys, they had to rework the paint jobs and make a new one.
Oh, there are new ones as well?
There's a new paint job, the S13 specific.
Can we see it, Mark?
Absolutely. I don't know if it'll work on this cab.
Of course, my lead is always involved. I ask for feedback. And of course, our QA department and the community testers as well were involved in this process.
I mean,
so it wasn't purely a one-man job, but from
at the end of the day, every task is kind of like running through most of the departments here, right?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, but
as far as the modeling and the texturing goes, it was basically a solo mission.
Did you like enjoy it in general? I believe you did, but could you like highlight a few maybe moments, or could you tell us like if you like more working on the interior or exterior? Or
so I always thought of myself as enjoying exteriors more, and I started with that. I really had fun making the bumper, the vocational bumper. But I will say I enjoyed the interior rework a lot more, because just watching it over time develop to what it is now, it was just pure joy.
Would you say it's easier than the interior? Or?
No, it's a little bit more technical.
Okay.
You mean the interior?
Yeah, but which one of these is like more difficult, if you can even say that? Or
it's kind of different skill sets, honestly. Because on the exterior, it's basically just making the model look as good as it can while optimizing it the most as it can be optimized and doing UVs. But the interior, you really want that fine detail, because it's where the camera spends the most time and it's the closest to. So things are a little bit of a higher quality in the interior always. So it's a little different. It really depends.
And this is the first time we've done something like this in the interior of a truck as well. Is we actually have it so that the cabinet can be changed.
Okay.
Exactly. It's a completely new feature for the interior.
I guess we'll throw a fridge in there for Benny snacks.
When you play our game or any of the vehicle game, whatever racing game, are you a player of from interior cameras or
exterior camera all the way?
Me too.
Exterior camera all the way. I just get more clearance and spatial awareness.
Yeah,
especially when playing dirt rally. I don't know how people play from the interior camera.
Benny's actually very good at that, and he's playing from the interior camera. And
props to Benny. I'm impressed, because I play in third person. I still crash into trees.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Me too.
You guys just got to get good.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh, yeah. Coming from the only member of our team that actually broke a truck and on a business trip.
I'm the only one that put it to the test, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Andy, so this was something you did as well. This was probably one of the biggest changes you made to the LT, was the whole new chassis for the day cab.
Yes. And it was kind of a late addition, because it was already mostly made, and then we got the request from Oscar, and we got data for it. Yeah,
that was my next question as well. Like, did you guys actually needed like help from Oscar? So he needed to contact like International, and like he told them like, hey guys, we are reworking this. Could you send us more reference data? And
yeah, he was very useful during the whole process, and he was basically our go-to guy to facilitate the communication between us and International, because of course I'm not going to be the one there writing emails to
calling the front office, front desk, like, hey guys, can you send me this data?
So who are you again?
This is Jennifer at front desk. What am I talking about?
Exactly. So Oscar was very helpful in that regard. He got us everything we needed to get the rework as accurate as possible.
Shout out to our contacts and representatives from International as well, for always being ready to help us keep the level of quality of their products, their trucks in our game as high as possible. Well, so you said like initially it was like a job or task for 3 months, ended up with you working on it on a year, but I believe actually it was worth it because now we have a, top-notch quality truck again in the game.
Like a new truck.
Yeah. So you usually when task like this is assigned to you, how do you start? Like you start with exterior or interior or?
No, we start with a pre-production, so we'll make a whole list of things that we need to change on it. And keep track of it. We usually use Favro for this.
Okay.
And then it's up to the artist, however they want to approach it. For me, the easiest thing to do is to start with the exterior.
Okay.
And then move.
And you can be like, okay, I'm gonna start with the grill. And
exactly. Yeah, I just move front to back usually, or bottom to top. It depends, because I've seen people work in many different ways. It's just my preference, I would say.
So there is not like a strong.
No, there's no guideline that you must follow.
Okay.
But you should meet the standard of quality of the other trucks.
How is the because I believe for your job, guys, for the vehicle department, the optimization and the performance of your models of trucks is a big part of your job as well. How is it limiting, or how does it work? How you guys do you guys have set up some limits of whatever triangles or pixels or whatever?
Yeah, we try to keep every truck within a range of poly count that makes sense. Of course, it's not entirely rigid. Sometimes we do less, sometimes we do a little bit more. The bottom line is to make something look as great as it can with the least amount of triangles, and that means typically if you have some edges on some flat surface that don't really do anything, just get rid of them. So we just try to make that as clean as possible.
Is it easy to explain how the poly count is affected by how the model looks like? I mean, like, can you tell like the more bent surface is, the more poly count there are?
Exactly.
Or
usually curved surfaces require the most poly counts, and they're the trickiest to optimize if you really want that nice rounded. But we always optimize based on distance. So if something is closer to the camera, it will always have more curvature to get. We try to get rid of the jagged edges. But if something is further away, we will reduce it. So actually, when you look at them compared next to each other, they look like they have the same curvature. So that's one consideration to always make, which is why in the interior, stuff around the camera is always more detailed than the lower or further you go inside the interior, the less detail you get. But sometimes we also consider the marketing perspective, because we know you love to do shots from the inside and showcasing everything. So when I model, I always think about that, like where will the promotional video try to be at, and
that's actually very kind of you. Thank you for that, because we really love to do like close-up shots even in the interior, like straight to the honestly, gadgets and
we love
buttons.
it too, because we spent months on these things, and then just to see it like that, like a close-up of something you worked hard on, is it's satisfying. So we also do it for ourselves.
Perfect. That's quite a nice truck, Mark. I'm impressed. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I love the dark red and combo.
I would get rid of the chrome mirrors, but
the chrome grille looks sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, but
the chrome was better.
No, the S13 chrome. Yeah.
Okay, leave the S13 chrome.
Yeah.
What about the wheels?
I would go for black. You guys know me. But Mark, is it actually a thing on trucks in the US that people are buying like painted rims on trucks, or is it usually chrome versus stock?
So, basically, you have the steel wheels, right? In the old days, you had the Dayton wheels. They were always painted. You could get aluminum rims, but mostly it was all painted. When they came out with the Bud wheels, which is what these are, you had steel wheels, which were painted, or you could get aluminum wheels or polished wheels, right? And they're not really chrome. There's not really any chrome semi-truck wheels. They're all polished aluminum.
But we've seen a lot of them at the truck shows, I believe.
Polished aluminum. Polished
really?
to a mirror finish, yep.
I would not be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, most components on the truck are either polished aluminum or stainless steel. The only thing that's really chrome is the plastic parts. It's like door handles and stuff like that on some of the newer trucks. The grills are starting to go plastic chrome for the last 20 years or so. But anything that's metal, it's not chrome. It's actually polished aluminum or stainless steel. But yeah, so recently, like Alcoa and Accuride have released, a line of painted black wheels or powder coated black wheels. There's always been aftermarket ones available, but they weren't very popular. But lately, the style has been going that way, the dark wheels, right? So, yeah, nowadays not everyone, but a lot of people are starting to go.
Are they
route.
usually like way more expensive than?
I wouldn't say way
ones?
more expensive. It's definitely you're paying a little extra because there's an extra finish on the wheel as opposed to like when you buy an Alcoa
Makes
wheel,
sense,
for example,
right?
it's just like nothing on it, right?
Okay.
Yeah. You can buy also clear-coated polished wheels, but the clear coat takes a lot of abuse from the road. It doesn't always hold up long term, like say 10 years plus. Whereas my old truck is 22 years old now, is still on the original wheels. No coating or nothing like that. Just polish them once a year and.
Do truckers need to like fix their wheels, like when they hit a bump or whatever? Do they need to like make them round again? If you know what I mean, like.
So that's a fun thing. Normally, no, like you have to hit them pretty hard for something to happen to them. But lately, because I guess I don't know if they're using like a greater quantity of like recycled materials in the aluminum.
So it's like more.
They're getting more brittle.
Not that hard.
Yeah, like they're starting to crack more. It seems like it was never an issue 20 years ago, and now you're starting to see it more and more often. Not really sure what the reason is for it. I'm not an engineer, but.
Okay.
You got the flow belows on there, right?
Yeah, we got the flow belows.
Flow belows, yeah.
Shout out to flow below.
I love how sporty this truck looks, honestly.
So, Andy, back to you and back to the topic of optimizing the truck before shipping it out. Is it like limiting for you guys a lot? Is it like you would wish that everyone around the world would have the latest graphic cards and super powerful computers, and you would be like not limited by any poly count? Or
I mean, honestly, the poly count is not the biggest limiting factor. It's usually the draw calls, which involve
what's the difference between them? Can it
so draw calls is basically a reference to the GPU every time you need to load a texture or material.
Oh,
and
that's why it's called draw calls.
Yes, the higher this number is, the higher the bottleneck. Triangles are actually trivial for modern computers, but we still, of course, want to pay it, and we don't want to put millions of triangles there just for the sake of it.
Yeah, we still need to keep our players playing on all the computers or laptops.
Exactly,
right?
and I do like that our games are quite low in file size. What I really dislike about gaming nowadays is you buy a game and then it's a quarter of your SSD is just for one game. So
like you're gonna need 300 gigabytes.
Just for this update. So I'm kind of happy we're also avoiding that. But yeah, and sometimes the optimization is an art in itself. So it's like a problem-solving type of thing. You're trying to make this part look really nice, but also trying to reduce the
so you need to do like hard decisions, like.
Yeah, but we always prioritize the shading and the normals, because typically what happens when you try to reduce a mesh to as little triangles as possible, you get these shading artifacts, which are like sharp triangles that really ruin the whole thing. So we have many different tricks that we use to get around that. Sometimes we'll have the high poly mesh somewhere in the scene, and then we'll duplicate it and reduce the mesh that will be in the game, and then we steal the normals from the high poly one, so it looks much nicer in the shading.
Okay.
And those are typically things we do to get around the limitations. But I really do like it. It's not like, because I have some experience in VFX, and there you're kind of unlimited in what you can do because you don't really care about performance. But game art has its own beauty, and I do love the problem-solving aspect of it, honestly.
Good. And damn, I wanted to ask something and it completely dropped off.
Sorry, I kind of went off on it.
No. I will pick it up later, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, I know. I got it. I wanted to ask, like, I believe that on every truck or every AI, because it's actually good to know that you guys at Vehicle Department are also making not only the players heroes, the trucks, but also the AIs that are driving in our in-game world, right?
Yeah.
Is it? I believe it is, but can you tell us what's the major difference between creating an AI and the truck?
Yeah, there's a big difference. I mean, as far as the modeling is concerned, it's typically the same, except for AI, we have a much lower poly count. It would usually be around 10,000 or 12,000 triangles for the entire vehicle, whereas the truck can sometimes go upwards of 100 to 150K, including the interior. So it's about 10 times the amount of triangles that we have in our budget for trucks. And then for AI, what we also consider is lowering the draw calls as much as possible, which means using as few textures and materials as we can on them. Because you have to also keep in mind, at any given time, there can be, like, I think
52, I believe.
52 AI vehicles spawn at the same time. So
it's like multiplying.
Exactly, yeah. So that's something we have to consider. So there's different standards for AI than there is for trucks.
Is it, I believe, again, it is quite obvious, but can you tell, like, a normal personal car as AI is less demanding on the performance than a truck in AI?
Typically, when we do the truck for AI, it should follow the same procedure as the AI vehicles themselves.
Okay.
This also means baking the interior down to a single texture that you view from the exterior. But we also use the same trick. For example, now when you're looking at the truck, there's actually a different interior model that's loaded.
Yeah.
That only has one texture, so it's not loading
Mark,
the actual.
can you use your
Don't break the illusion.
Wheel on the mouse to zoom?
Don't break the illusion.
A little bit closer.
Don't look behind the curtain.
What are we looking at? Sorry.
No, we are talking about that now.
I'm revealing all of our tricks.
Now the game is rendering a different model of the interior than if you are in the driving. You know, if you are in the interior camera.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can see it in there.
Exactly. It's much less detailed because if we load.
Mark, do you want a water as well?
No, I'm okay.
No. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Benny. You
are
our hero.
If we load both the exterior and interior at the same time, it's kind of a mess.
And is it like the vice versa when you are now in this camera?
Yeah. Now actually the only parts of the exterior that exist are the hood.
And the side of the cab.
Yeah, exactly.
But like if you were able to turn the camera all the way around to the right, you would
There's
actually
no doors or anything.
You'd be missing that whole side of the interior, right?
Ah, that's quite clever.
Yeah.
But when you are driving in the interior camera, the performance is also like affected by all the mirrors, right? Because
that's basically rendering the scene again.
Yeah,
so
but of course in a different resolution, lower quality, but still.
And there's no shadows there as well, because it's actually the lighting calculations that are very heavy. So if you're rendering the scene twice and you're rendering the shadows again,
Mark, what was that?
Performance goes.
I don't know.
We saw nothing. It's fine.
That's all great information about how you guys are working on these.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a much more technical job than it is creative. I would say we're creative about 40% of the time, and then 60% is spent problem solving.
That's the thing, right? When you guys are modeling like these trucks according to, for example, CAD files or whatever, is there actually any space for creativity, or because like you have to?
I'll be honest, I'll go on the record, I really hate modeling from CAD data.
Because you need to follow
I
basically.
don't use my brain at all.
Yeah.
I just model on top of a perfect reference, and then there's nothing to really think about. There's no problem solving. You don't feel like I'm really just doing anything.
Like if you're drawing according to like.
Like someone drew something before you, and all you have to do is just optimize it basically. Yeah. But I do like working.
But there is still a lot of optimization, because those CAD files that our partners, our great contacts at brands are sending us, they are usually like having a lot of stuff that we are not really using, right? They have sometimes CAD files down to the every screw, or one time I've even seen a CAD file of the mattress in the bunk, and the CAD file even has the springs in it.
Exactly.
I was like, are we going to need it?
But but it's a different use case, so it makes sense. And you could never put a cat model into a game; it's just impossible. Not just because of topology, but also when you just look at the shading, it's really messy. And this is something we always prioritize. We want the shading of the surfaces to be as natural as possible.
So you always have to like basically like walk through all the reference data and decide like, okay, this is not relevant for us, this is not relevant for us. Oh, that might be like a tiny picking work. So
we usually spend 2 or 3 days. That's the pre-production phase in our case, where we just comb through all the data we have, get rid of everything that's not necessary for us. I'll typically set up different scenes with the reference data, then I load as a reference into my main working scene, so then I can toggle the layers on and off quite easily. So yeah, we have to sort it ourselves because we end up spending so much time with the models that really no one else can do this for you.
Yeah, it's quite of a science you guys are doing.
Yeah. But I really like that the day-to-day job is always different. It's never doing the same thing over and over again.
And when it comes to you, are you always a truck guy, or you are sometimes like, okay, I did 3 trucks in a row, let's do a trailer now, or let's do AIs for a few months, or?
No, I even told my lead that I don't want to be just stuck doing one type of vehicle all the time. So I really love, sometimes I'll work on AI. Then I'll pick up a truck, then I'll do something else and just vary it up, switch it up, because that way I also keep my skill sets kind of fresh, because I always face new problems and challenges. It's something I really enjoy doing.
It's also like keeps you more relevant, or how to say it, because you can always be assigned to all the tasks that are coming for our game, right? It's not like your lead would ask you to do a trailer and be like, I never did that.
Exactly, but this can also bite you in the back sometimes. Then you inherit some bugs from a long while ago.
Oh, like you are now doing, right?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
One of your colleagues is on a vacation
Yes.
and a task needs to be finished.
Exactly. So sometimes...
you need to return it to him, right? You need to revenge.
I'll do it the next time when I'm finishing up a big project,
like,
right before I send it to QA.
See ya in 2 weeks.
I'll take all my days off.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will enjoy it.
Okay, now let's ask more about you in particular. Like, can you tell us like how did you get into SCS Software? How long you're here, or how was your story to getting here?
Yeah, so it's my 2 years the company, the 3rd year from July. But basically, I was browsing LinkedIn, and some recruiter messaged me that SCS is looking for vehicle artists. Turns out later when I was talking to HR, they had no idea who this guy was, so that was fun.
Did you have to pay him?
No, not at all.
Wait, what?
No.
Some recruiter
He just
asked
told
you if you want to join SCS, and it was no one
exactly.
from us?
Yeah. But I believe him and Saskia had communicated before.
What?
Yeah. But anyways, I submit all my details and got to the interview, did a technical assignment, and when I got the email that I was accepted, I was literally screaming and jumping in my room.
Really?
Yeah. I was pretty excited, because as a kid, I was playing the old games.
That was I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
If you knew our game before.
I did, yeah. I remember, the Hunting Unlimited games, right? So back in the day, like after school, me and my buddies would come back to my place and make scenarios in the level editor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you were modders.
Yeah, we were. We grew up on that. So
that's great to hear.
It's
and
kind of cool that I ended up here.
And are you a gamer in your free time? Like, do you play a lot of games?
I used to be, but since I started working on them,
that's the same story for all of us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just burned out on
once
games.
your hobby turns into your job, you in the spare time you rather do.
Like it's hard to get immersed now, because I'll boot up a game and I just spend all my time analyzing the artwork. How did it do this? Like, which tricks did they
Or you
use?
see all the mistakes and
or
bugs
that
and
too,
like
exactly. So
this is where they like
Yes.
try to cheap on and
exactly.
Yeah.
So it completely breaks the illusion, and you don't feel that immersion you do when you're oblivious to the fact.
Yeah, and you were originally from which country?
From Macedonia, in the Balkans. Yeah.
Chad, would you say this is a Macedonian accent? I would not.
We actually, me and Andy had an argument about this. I'm like, where are you from? He's like, Macedonia. I'm like, okay, yeah, but like, where are you from? Like, not where are your parents from? Where are you from? He's like, no, Macedonia. I'm like, no way. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Do people in general speak this level of English, this good English?
Really?
Really?
The younger generations, yeah.
Okay.
They do.
I always wanted
I
to
would
visit
say
these countries.
The rate of English proficiency in Macedonia is probably higher than in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, but Czech Republic is not really high on that.
Yeah. All right,
unfortunately and sadly.
Would you say Czechs are stubborn, Namiro?
Yes. I don't know. I don't know why. But maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe like here in Czech Republic, the young kids now can speak English. You know, I don't know. I haven't really spent time with the younger audience for a long time, so I don't really know if the level of English is good there.
Honestly, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people when I started,
You can actually tell because you are wandering here around Prague. You can't speak Czech at all. So everywhere you go, you need to use your English. Is it actually? Can people here speak English?
Yeah.
At least a little bit?
Yeah. A lot of people will like start out saying like, no, I don't really speak any English, and then they speak English fine.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
So
like
they are like shy, but they actually would be able to survive in the US.
Oh
with
yeah,
their
absolutely. I
English.
think part of it is shy, and part of it is just the natural Czech need to disassociate with anyone that talks to them.
Yes, we do have that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go up to someone in the store like, oh hey man, like I'm interested in buying this TV, and they're just like, oh sorry, I don't speak English, but they say it just like that. Oh sorry man, I don't speak English. It's like, what?
Yeah.
But no, honestly, if you push them a little bit, they get them speaking English. Everyone's really nice, really kind, very helpful.
That's true.
Yeah.
Glad to
Usually.
hear about us Czechs. What about you? You live in here for 2
years.
2 years. How do you find it here?
I like it. It took me a bit to get adjusted, but I like it quite a lot. Especially Prague. There's always stuff to do. Never get bored here. So.
True. But I believe that works for the capital city of Macedonia as well, right? For any capital city. Depends? Okay.
The variety of things you can do is different.
But you spend a lot of years or time in Netherlands, you said to us before the stream?
4 years. I studied there and worked part-time before I got this job, so I moved.
So what were you doing before applying for SCS job or?
In the Netherlands or? Okay, so
whatever you feel like to answer.
Yeah.
Or to share.
Back home in Macedonia, I attended computer science university. Was horrible at it, so I dropped out. And then I found this course from a film effects studio that's based in Skopje. They worked on like blockbuster movies for Hollywood studios.
Oh, really?
They're like an outsourcing company. So I spent a year and a half there as a trainee doing animations. And then I decided maybe it's time to go back to school, so I got into university for game design in the Netherlands.
How was it?
It was fun. It was nice. It was a really good experience.
What kind of subjects you guys were like?
It was mostly design focused. It wasn't so much focused on the technical stuff. But we did have some courses for 3D or for programming. But it was mostly about whenever you are designing something to always consider the user perspective. So it was kind of doing research into that.
So you should not be like designing the stuff like you want to do it only.
Exactly,
but
yeah. Which I kind of find useful now for some technical assignments I do. I always try to think of how will the user using it respond to this. So
makes sense.
it's a fun experience. And then there I also worked part-time in a company called Sync VR. They're doing simulations in VR for hospitals. So I was doing environments for VR. Basically.
I cannot imagine what like use case they have. For
it's
example,
like for kids or for therapy for patients who have like muscular atrophy, and then like some exercises, and the VR shows you how to do them correctly.
Oh,
So it's
really?
These types of things, yeah.
Things like that
Really
exist.
integrating
Okay,
that, yeah.
that's great.
No, that's an advanced society.
That's great to hear. Like that the VR is not only for games and.
Yeah. I would say the application is more serious than it is for entertainment. VR is much more popular in that sector, I would say.
And then you just tried to apply for the job here
Yeah,
from
I did.
Netherlands, and you were at that time you were ready to like move here to Prague.
Yeah.
and
As soon
Basically
as
change your life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you have any friends here already, like, or you were just like blindly going to Prague and like yeah,
Luckily,
let's do it?
I do. I have 2 friends here that have lived, one for 17 years and the other for 12 years.
Okay,
So it was much easier to come here like that and have some people help me out in the first few months, because I was sleeping on couches.
Couch
for the
surfing.
first 10 days until I found a place. So
nice.
without them, I don't know what I would do, honestly. It's always difficult when you move to a new country on your own.
Yeah, I admire you both guys, like to have
Yeah.
the
But once you
the
go
guts
through
to
that,
do the big move in life, the big decision, like to leave the whole your life in a different country and go into a country like Czech Republic is where they don't even really speak English,
Yeah. But to be fair, for me, it made a lot of sense to come to Prague, because what I always wanted to do is be involved in some way with the gaming industry, and there's so many studios here, so I figured as a career choice it just makes perfect sense to be here.
Is there a lot of studios in Netherlands as well?
There are, but it's not to the same level and capacity as here.
Is
I
it
would
like
say
smaller teams?
it's mostly smaller indie studios and
Uh-huh.
startup companies. There are some big companies in the Netherlands as well. The problem is it's very hard to get in there. You basically have to be a senior graphics programmer or something of the like. So the stepping stone is completely different. Sorry, the barrier to entry.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. So, but when it comes for you and to be able to like operate the softwares, to be able to model such
Yeah.
high level detailed trucks and interiors, like where did you learn that? Are you like
Oh, that
self-taught
was-
or?
No. That was all from the VFX studio that I was training at. So everything I've ever learned how to do it on the level that I do is from spending a year there.
So you
'Cause
can
I
learn,
basically learn from the best, I think.
Okay.
It was the perfect environment to.
and you're using
start.
what software, like Maya or Blender?
Yeah,
or?
yeah. Film industry is all Maya because of its scriptability.
Oh, okay.
So
Makes sense. Yeah.
that's
So you can
what-
actually learn this level of Maya, would you say, in a year? Like,
rigorous, yeah. It's a rigorous year. It's not like university level. It's completely different type of course. It's to the point of what needs to be done.
so it's not like 1 hour per week.
No.
It's like every day, even after course, you were spending time.
At the start 3 times per week for 3 hours, I believe. It was a
Okay,
long time
that's
ago,
quite a
so
lot.
Nice driving.
Mark,
Nice driving.
are you trying to pretend me behind the wheel or what?
I was just testing the engine brake.
Works perfect. But after that, we did like a 6-month internship there it was basically full time, just working in my own animations.
That's great. I always think like when you want to learn actually something, school is good to show you the way, but
Yeah.
you have to invest time into that.
Exactly. You have to take the time out of school
Yeah.
to get the technical skills.
Yeah.
Because academia
And
is
you have to
mostly
basically
about-
grind it.
Exactly. That's something I always disliked about school, is writing reports, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I never felt like it was to the point of what I wanted to do, but
Yeah, true that.
I still don't regret it.
Yeah. So back to our game and to this International LT truck Rework It by you. Would you say is this your favorite truck in the game now because of you spend so much time on it, or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
It's
feel
your
like
baby.
it's my own now. Yeah. I didn't make the whole thing, but I definitely put my mark on it, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
but-
big time.
Especially on the
Yeah.
interiors.
Yeah, you did a great job, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, and you said like you spent a lot of time playing our old games, but before you joined SCS, were you also a player of American Truck Simulator or Truck Simulator 2, or do you even now maybe sometimes play it just for fun? I believe you probably. have enough of it in the world in the work, right? So after work you rather go out or whatever.
Before I joined, no, because as I said, I was kind of out of the habit of playing games even at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But now sometimes when a truck releases that I had some involvement in, I always boot it up just to see how it feels
checking
like.
if you did a great job.
Exactly, yeah. How it feels like to be from the user perspective.
Oh.
Yes.
Do you guys sometimes, like when it's like a month or whatever after a release of a track you guys worked on, are you like, this maybe we should have done it differently, or are you like still evaluating
always.
your?
I mean, it's the artist curse. It's never feeling quite happy with the result in the end, but because everything can always be improved, made better, but
True. But it's also the curse of like trying to pursue the 100%, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
impossible.
It's impossible,
Yeah.
especially given the limitations you're given in game dev. It's just the nature of how the work is. But I would say like the stuff we've been releasing recently is just of a really higher quality.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Now we're very happy with what we do.
And if you would be able to bring any whatever truck vehicle in our game and be able to create that for a game, do you have any dream like that, like dream truck to work on or dream AI to build or whatever? You might say like, I would love to see American Truck Simulator going into space and start building whatever ships.
I will
or
refuse to answer this question if that's okay.
Okay. Okay.
For confidentiality.
Oh, so maybe you are actually already working on something like
Yes, but if I say, I might get shot in the back, so.
Don't worry, Chad. It's not that serious here, but I
shut.
appreciate your professionality that you don't want to spoil the beans.
Would you say that the thing you're working on though is like something like a dream car for you in real life, or like a dream anything like that?
Vehicle,
or
truck, whatever.
It's very fun to work on what I'm working on.
Oh,
right
I
now.
actually probably know what you're working on.
Yeah, I think we should stop here though.
And I believe, we should stop here.
Yeah.
But I believe it's kind of a dream of a lot of people around
It's
the
a
world.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, that's should be enough for spoilers for today or teases. And Mark, how do you enjoy driving with the reworked LT?
It's fun. I like the
You've
engine
been
sound.
quiet.
It's really good.
Forklift confirmed.
Forklift confirmed. Yeah, yeah.
You gotta get certified first.
It's a forklift or garden buggy. No, it's
question for Andy. Have you talked about the S13 paint job for the trailer also? I don't believe we showed that, but
Oh, we
yes.
did.
Oh, there is also for the
Yeah, you can also put the S13 paint job on the trailer as well.
There we go.
Chat. Stop guessing on what
This is good. We're stoking the fire. I love it. Get the hype train rolling.
Yeah.
Shift what's possible.
What does it mean, the S13? Is it like
it's the
model
Scania
range?
engine. I don't know what the 13
Oh.
stands for.
So the S13 is the new integrated powertrain that was brought over using European technology. I mean, it's mostly a European engine, I think, from Scania, the super engine. I don't know what they call
So
it.
is it
in
the
Scania.
V8 one?
No. It's the 13-liter inline six.
Oh, okay.
So International brought that over because they're all part of the same group now. International, Scania, MAN trucks. So they brought that over to the North American market, and they call it the S13 integrated powertrain. It gives you the 13-liter S13 engine and the T14 14-speed transmission. They're only available with each other, so you can't get like a, say, Eaton Fuller transmission or a Cummins engine. You're only T14 and S13, which is confusing. It's a lot of numbers and letters together.
I'm just trying to nod and pretend that I'm perfectly know what you're talking about.
I feel the same way. Sometimes I'll have a conversation with Sissel and he's explaining something about
He's very
the differential, this,
down
that.
into
I'm like,
details. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, shout out to Cecil as well.
Yeah.
And shout out to everyone in our vehicle department. You guys are really doing a great job bringing new trucks, new AIs, everything. And it must be kind of a race with the time as well, right? Because like we are working on multiple like big map expansions simultaneously nowadays, and you guys always try to bring new cargos, new AIs into the world. But the worlds keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of map support as well. So we even do some static pieces every now and then.
Oh yeah, that's also true.
I did a race car for Nebraska.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is it like
few months ago.
landmark one?
Yeah,
or?
it was a landmark one. You almost crashed into
No, I
a truck
didn't.
that I also made.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, every now and then we have those little fun assignments that just break up the monotony.
The race car, that was the one that
On
you can find on the roof, right?
Exactly, on the
Yeah,
roof of the
okay,
gas
yeah, yeah, yeah.
station. And it was a blast
you-
to do that one.
So you closely work with also like with the asset designers, like they come to you and
For-
like, hey guys, there is this landmark building and it has a car on the roof.
Yeah.
We need a car from you. And
So typically how it goes is they will usually do those assets themselves, but depending on their capacity, they will
Mhm.
offload some of those assets to us because it's quite similar to what
Mhm.
we normally do.
Mhm.
But for that assignment in particular, I was closely collaborating with the assets department for the livery of it. I got a lot of different designs for the advertisements on it from the asset department itself.
Okay.
So I would say it's like involvement of 3 more people just to make that one static environment asset.
So it's not really a rule that every time you see in our game anything that has wheels that came from your department. Some of them
If
were
it's
created.
driving,
Oh.
it did. If
Okay.
it's on the road, if it's a dynamic object, yes. But if, for example, there's an old abandoned rust bucket
Uh-huh.
somewhere on the map, that might be done by the asset guys themselves
Okay.
as well.
Okay, I see.
Or sometimes there you see an airplane statue, like a landmark. They do it themselves.
And you guys are doing the planes that are flying around our map, or?
I believe. I don't know actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of work because, like as you said, like you guys are sometimes doing even the statics ones, like whatever call it, like harvesters parked in the
We
middle
even
of the
do boats
field, and
sometimes.
even boats.
Yeah, I did one of the transport ships on the ETS, the Travemünde boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was completely new for us because we never did something like that before. And I remember with Yarda, we were looking over the list and I was like, oh, that looks cool. Can I take it?
That's great.
Yeah, it was a completely new experience for us because we basically had to work with a different pipeline,
Yeah.
not something we were used to before. So there was a lot of feedback back and forth between us and the assets department on that one.
And you guys are now closely like cooperating here with Mark as well, right? Because like.
Oh yeah, Mark's a godsend in some cases because we just, when we don't know what to do, the first person we ask is Mark.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Look at that
And
guy.
also
how
shout
proud
out
he
to
is,
Mark
man.
because his feedback was very useful and valuable for the LT.
Yeah.
And we got a whole bunch of new parts because of you. The chrome stuff,
Yeah.
the chrome fuel tanks and
Yeah, the
steps
depth cover
everything.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The fuel tanks were reworked with the black straps and everything.
Yeah, that was all your idea.
You're welcome, chat.
welcome,
Yeah, no,
Chad.
and also,
Very
I
good.
gotta say thanks to the vehicle guys as well because when I first came to SCS, that's actually where I was sitting, was in the vehicle department, and you guys made me feel really welcome, really at home and stuff like that. So you guys definitely, have a place in my heart. For sure.
I'm gonna cry, guys. Nice. It's always nice to see and listen how it's everything connected together, and it's also kind of true, right? Because like you guys are very talented artists and everything, but for us here in Prague and Czech Republic, not every one of us had a chance to spend many years on the American roads and be able to see how cargos are being strapped down to a trailer or what parts can be replaced on a truck or whatever, right? So it's good to have someone with that experience or
On that
knowledge.
part, I think they don't like that I'm here because I go back through the old cargos. I'm like, hey guys, you got to secure this differently. You got to do this differently. I can see every time they're like, oh, thanks.
Just leave it at
My
that.
they can see you walk into their place and oh my god.
Not this guy. I sorry, Mark, I got a meeting.
That does happen.
That does happen, yes. Well, guys, time flies. We already spent an hour here. It was a amazing chat with you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here, honestly.
Yeah, you should come here more often.
I
It's
definitely will.
Kind of feel like you're a natural part of our team now. So you should tell your leader that you quit at the
Let's
vehicle
do it.
department.
Let's go.
So
Look at that. Let's go.
Yeah, right
All right,
after
well, that's a good place to
right
end, I think.
after
That was
right
a
after
beautiful-
we did a big promo for Mark, like how we value his 14 years as a truck driver experience, he almost flipped the truck.
Listen, it's still on.
Hey, it's still facing the right way, so.
It's still on 26 wheels.
Okay.
could say.
Makes sense.
He was just demonstrating his skills. You don't get it.
Okay, I don't get it. Yeah. Well, I believe that's the right point where to call it a day. You had so many close moments, Mark. We should not test the luck anymore.
Chad says he almost pulled an Amiro.
Oh Jesus,
I'm liking this. I'm enjoying this too much.
Chat. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit streaming, and you're gonna cry that you don't have fun anymore because no one will be crashing and stuff like that. Well, but anyway, chat. Thank you so much for watching our stream today, for listening all this great information provided here by Andy and Mark. About how the work on rework, like big kind of content, like was the rework of International LT and LoneStar for the update 1.50, is how what's happening behind the scenes, how these guys here at our vehicle department are working, and it was great and informative for me as well. So thank you so much, guys, for coming, for
Thanks for having me.
talking through this topic with us. Mark, thank you for not breaking the truck in the game, and for you were trying to find someone to raid, right?
I am trying to find someone to raid.
That's nice. Did you find anyone?
It's always hard with American Truck Simulator because a lot of people aren't on this time of the day.
Yeah.
We can even raid someone with the Euro Truck Simulator too.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Chat, for those who don't know, at the end of our regular streams, we always gather all of you and raid someone who's playing and streaming either of our games, to bring some love and attention back to our community, to our content creators. We have just one rule. Always remember that when we are there in their chat, we always representing the best community ever. So behave, spread love, tell them some good vibes, and just maybe if you will find that the content creator is making great content for your liking, then you can give them a follow or stay a while. And I believe that's gonna be all from us today. Mark, did you find someone?
I found somebody. It's gonna be. You ready?
No, but go for it.
Get ready. It's 1X Mad Matt X1.
1X means number 1 and X.
The letter X. Yeah.
Okay.
And
1X.
Yep. Mad MAD.
MAD.
Matt with 2 T's.
MAT.
And
X1. X1.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like it's working. All right. Well, chat, thank you again for joining us today. Soon we will be back with more streams. We have a lot of content that is being worked on, a lot of stuff that we plan to bring to you, of course, when it's ready. So stick with us, stay around, keep your eyes on our communication channels or our Twitch channel. Mark, Andy, thank you guys again for coming for this stream. And we all, I hope, gonna see you at next one. That's all from us in Prague, and have a great evening, guys. Bye.